What's going on, everybody? It's Tom.
And it's Jamie. Welcome to the Chronicles of Podcast.
The Chronicles of Bloodstock 2024.
Hi, my name's OB, and I am the solo runner of Pedal to the Metal this year.
Absolutely incredible. First things first, how's your Bloodstock been?
Fantastic. Had a really good time. Saw a lot of bands that I wanted to come and see, and discovered a couple of new ones. So,
Who?
Well, first of all, I got converted on Opeth, so I really enjoyed that.
Great.
So.
Great. They were great, mate. Phenomenal. So, how was Pedal to the Metal born? Where did this idea come from?
So, a friend of mine in 2019 wanted to do Bloodstock and Wacken back to back. And being the avid cyclist that he was, he thought, can I cycle between the two festivals? And then he was like, well, can I do the whole thing? So he did it in 2019 and proved that we could actually do it. But then he got ill and then told me about the ideas. I was like, well, I've got to carry this on. So I attempted it last year and got rained off with all that rain. And then they stopped letting into Wacken. So I was just like, well, that ended in a soggy train ride home. So I was like determined extra this year to do it, and well, here I am.
This is beautiful. Yeah. No, fair play, man. Like I said, what a genius thing to do. But you must be fucked.
No, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No. It surprised me just as much as everyone else. It's like, so I did a lot of training, to be fair. Like, I work about 22 miles from where I live, so I was doing 44 miles at least 3 times a week to build up for it. And then there were tough days, don't get me wrong, but when I got here, hopped off the bike, it was like within about a couple of minutes I was in a mosh pit, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yes, love it. What's the inspiration behind the cat helmet?
Sorry?
What's the inspiration behind the cat helmet?
Well, so first of all, the guy that did this t-shirt drew the cat helmet on the back in my hand.
Okay.
And I was like, where did you see that helmet? And he's like, I found it on Amazon. So then I had to go and buy the helmet. And luckily I got a small head and the kid sizes fit me. And then Rory, who did the t-shirt, then painted all the black metal stuff on it. So it was his idea and I made it real.
Amazing, man. That's absolute genius. But I mean, so obviously you cycled from here to Wacken in Germany and cycled all the way back. But I do believe you told us that your phone is broken and GPS was a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, so when I got off the ferry, I was putting sun cream on, and it fell out my pocket, smashed the screen, and it sort of half works. I had a backup phone, and then put my SIM card in that one, and then the GPS was just bouncing around all over the place. I was like, oh no.
Why am I in France?
So I had to sort of like play a little bit of SIM card hopscotch between the two phones to try and get here. I got here, and so I'm going to have to just nurse it home as well. I'm getting a Garmin for next time.
That's the thing that blew my mind the most. He said, when you leave here today or tomorrow, you're cycling home.
Yeah.
Have a break.
Well, I will when I get home.
And then you go back to work.
Yeah, pretty much the next day, yeah.
And now have bionic calves.
Yeah, they're like that's the thing, they're solid. Their calves are like... But that's the thing, like, when you're running around in the mosh pit, it's like different set of muscles, so you don't really notice it until you try and like go up a step or something. You're like, ooh.
Are you going with the new Terminator?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe instead of being on Arnie, it'd be modelled on me.
Yeah.
I like it. But obviously, you did all this in aid of our wonderful friends here at the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. We've been talking to people at the festival this weekend because we know all of us being part of this alternative community, we all got treated like shit when we were younger, let's be honest.
Yes.
But we're trying to find out what are some of the stereotypes that maybe were put upon you, not just when you were young, but maybe even now because you're part of this community. Did you get the whole, I bet he loves a fight, I bet he worships the devil? Any of that sort of stuff? Yeah,
I actually had a Christian come up to me because of the symbols on the helmet on my way to Harwich and tried to like talk to me about like the symbolism on my helmet, and I managed to like say, you know, it's just for a good cause and things like that, and I ended up bringing him around. But yeah, you still get a little bit of you know, leering and jeering at you occasionally. But it's a lot less frequent now than it was when I was younger. You sort of get like called the weirdo all the time. It's like, oh, why didn't you just like wear a colour or something? It's not so bad for guys, but I used to see it really bad with my female friends who used to like dress like Sophie and have like their colourful dreads and things and wear black. And it really, when I found out what the Sophie Lancaster Foundation do and who Sophie Lancaster was, I was like, well, it's like really easy choice to like support them. So when I did it last year, I wasn't raising any money. But this year it was just like, because everyone was asking me, are you sponsoring, being sponsored for this? Who are you raising money for? And I was like, well, at that time I wasn't. So I was like, well, I've got to do it for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. And that really ties in easily with the helmet, because when people ask me what's about the helmet and I tell them about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, it's like, well, this is how I'm expressing myself in my own unique way, and that's how Sophie did it. So this really ties in easily. So I was like, well, thank you, Rory, for making this a good idea, because now I've got a really good reason to say, the helmet ties in with what I'm doing.
That's incredible. The other thing we're asking people as well is, you sort of briefly touched on it then. Obviously, when we were growing up and when what happened to Sophie, you fast forward to 2024, it's a very different world we're living in now. Do you think it's maybe easier for younger people to grow up in this world now, or still challenges out there?
I don't think it's as hard as it was, but there are still challenges. Like, people still get singled out just for being a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as easy as just dressing normally. Like, if you get called names just because you want to express yourself that certain way, you can't just like turn that off, because that's how you feel and that's what you want to look like, that's how you want to dress. And then people just being horrible to you for the simply how you want to look is wrong. So there's still a lot more work to do.
Absolutely. Another thing we've been talking to people about, and it's come up a lot in these conversations, is the world of social media.
Yeah.
Because it's that double-edged sword. You can my people, and then at the same time the arseholes can find you.
Yeah. I think we can easily get put into bubbles as well now with social media. So you tend to be surrounded with people and like-minded, and occasionally that will expand and someone will again find you, especially if you start becoming a little bit more famous or having a bit more attention. But I don't think.
No. I know we tried to avoid this. We tried to be as quick as possible for this time. I mean, they're sound checking. So.
I was going to say, but to be fair, that was everything anyway. Yeah. So. Thank you, Ray Miles, for exiting this interview for us. Obi, thanks so much for taking the time on that.
Thank you.
Really does.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Joshua. I play drums in Route Zero.
My name's Jack. I play keys and sing some loud, shouty shit in Route Zero.
My name is Ren, and I play guitar in Route Zero.
And it's an absolute pleasure to have you all here, so thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. Not at all. How are your personal Sundays treating you?
Very warm.
Very warm. Super warm. Yeah. Sahara-like conditions. Love it though. It's good. It's a good challenge.
I think when we do in the UK, you just go, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, literally.
What is going? Why am I hurting all of a sudden?
We're Goths from South Wales. Like, we don't like the sun at all.
We have rain and sheep, nothing else.
Yep. I didn't pack any shorts. I'm screwed. It's just all cargo, mate.
As if you brought sheep up. I mean, don't insult yourselves. You know what I mean?
Let's keep our love lives out of this.
I'm in a happy, committed relationship. Thank you.
So am I with the sheep.
We don't condemn sheep shagging on this show. Just to let you know, we don't. No, if that's what you do in the deep valleys of Wales, then that's entirely up to you. Anyway, how was the set?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, really, really good. We had really good crowd reception. Like, we got a circle pit going, which was awesome. But yeah, like the biggest crowd we've ever had. Like, it's unbelievable that we're even playing Bloodstock. It still doesn't feel real,
Yeah.
Yeah. Second that, like, oh my god, the amount of energy. It was like pure, it's like ecstasy at one point. Just going on. It was just so much, like, just being pumped up.
Yeah,
loved it so much.
It is kind of without a doubt the most insane thing like any of us have ever done. Because like we're just a group of friends from like Cardiff. We play at our local rock bar. We do support slots, and then through Metal to the Masses, somehow we're playing Bloodstock, and we don't know how that happened.
we love them to death. They're absolute legends. Yeah,
we love them, but.
Yeah.
Is it Fuel that you play?
Yes,
it's Fuel.
Yeah.
I just moved back from Cardiff, so yeah, I fucking love that city.
That's our home field, Fuel. Yeah.
It's a wonderful city. Yeah. Love Cardiff, and I love Fuel. So, compared to a Route Zero show, to a Route Zero festival set, do you change your set this up accordingly so people aren't so familiar with themselves, say? You just want to drop all the bangers in?
We've had like a relatively stable set that we've been using for for the competition series, as well as like our actual set we've just done. But like we try and sort of, when we're doing like smaller shows, we sort of try and mix it up. Like we've got quite a lot of new music we're working on at the moment. We've got an album that we're hoping to drop by the end of this year. It's not got an official release date yet, but yeah, we try and sort of introduce some new stuff during that, like, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know, mix it up for smaller shows, yeah, and then kind of bring out the heavy hitters for the big shows like this.
Incredible. So, us as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Mm-hmm. Are you aware of Sophie and the story? Yeah?
Yeah,
absolutely. Incredible. Yeah. So, we're talking to artists this weekend to try and find out a bit more about the stereotypes and the assumptions you may have had upon you because you're part of this community. Not necessarily just when you were younger, because although I can guarantee we were all treated like shit when we were younger because of the music we listened to, but even today, like, is this something you've experienced where you've been treated differently because of this?
To an extent, I think it depends on where you are. Like, if you're in like a big city, it doesn't really feel like that much, but when you're in the sticks a little bit more, you kind of get more kind of eyes looking at you weirdly, you know what I mean? So I think it depends on where you are. I mean, I grew up in a very religious household in the south of London, you know, kind of like southeast England suburbia. So like when I was first getting into it, like I had a lot of people saying like, fuck, I still remember when I was getting into like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff when I was a kid, and like I was getting told by people at church like, oh, put those demon things away and all that kind of bollocks. So
Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Demon in Yu-Gi-Oh?
There were people at my church who thought there were demons in Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yes.
Okay, just checking I heard that right.
But yeah, I think it like I said, I think it varies depending on where we are.
Yeah, I've been quite lucky myself. Usually it's just things like, if I did like this, it's like, it's usually just getting like homophobic slurs from a car, you know, like brave people shouting at you from a moving vehicle, you know, that type of vibe. Like real, like gentlemanly, classy people. But I'm used to moving things like away from me. But yeah, but I've been quite lucky myself. But I have known a few people growing up who've been physically assaulted for like dressing metal and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been around that, and I fucking hate it. Like anyone who does that, like, fuck you.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
It's like you're saying you've known people that have gone through it, but sometimes it's not just going through it, it's the fear of it happening. There is that. Yeah. I know this happens to people.
Yeah.
Looking over your shoulder, you know,
that could happen to anyone and everyone, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The other thing that we're asking people as well is, because obviously when we were growing up, and you go back to 2007 when Sophie was growing up, fast forward to 2024, it's a very different world. It's a very different landscape out there now. Do you think it's easier to be part of this community now, especially younger people, to get into this alternative community?
I think to an extent, yeah. Like, I think things have improved. Like, I think things could still be better, but yeah. Like, I mean, maybe it's just because I don't really, because like a lot of like the you know, a lot of stuff that I saw when I was first getting into metal was on social media or on the internet and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't really pay much attention to that kind of shit anymore, because honestly, like, I've just got better things to do with my life than doom scroll all day. So yeah, like, but I mean, you know, so maybe I'm speaking from a point of ignorance, but like, generally speaking, when you come to a festival like a festival like this, or like just walking around generally, it does feel like people are generally like, they don't seem to care as much for it. I mean, unfortunately, there are other reasons that people, you know, sort of, there are other things that people have found ways to discriminate people for, which we're not on board with either, for, you know, for a variety of reasons. You know, discrimination sucks regardless of what it is, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, but yeah, I think things have changed for the better, but there's still like ways we could improve, you know.
Yeah, fully agree. Definitely.
Absolutely.
There's still a lot of progress to be made, but it's being made.
Yeah.
It's slow progress, but oh, sorry. I'm so bad with this. Sorry. A slow progress, but like a He-Man. A slow progress, but it's still progress. Like, it's getting there. But a lot of work to do.
Bringing it back to you guys, you are here because you won Metal to the Masses in South Wales. What was that moment like when you had your name called out?
I think
I froze for about 20 seconds and thought
I don't think even knew what was happening at that point.
Nothing compares. It was like the best ecstasy ever, you know, like I've never done heroin, but I don't think I don't think it compares, to be honest. There's probably a lot of
Do
people
heroin,
who
kids.
don't do heroin. Definitely join a band and do that. that's a better use of your time. But that was euphoria, yeah. So go that route. That's cooler. That was fucking amazing.
It was probably the most insane thing we've ever done until about 20 minutes ago when we did that.
When it all paid off. I just got this image of them calling your name out and you just stood there. Like, oh yeah, it was us.
Yeah. I remember they shouted to us, get on the stage. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, cool, we have to go up. But yeah, so
Incredible.
cool.
Moving forward though, what's going on with the band in the future? What have you got coming up?
So so we're working on a new album at the moment. We're waiting for it to be mixed and mastered. I won't say anything more about that because we've got no like official release date or like anything else about it, you know. But yeah, we've got that. Got a couple more shows coming up this year as well. We're going to be playing at One for Sorry Festival in Plymouth, which we're really excited for because we're going to be joining some great bands like our friends in Moon Reaper, who we've played with a couple of times before. Countless Sky is a band that I've been a fan of for a couple of years that I'm really excited to see. And then we've got a couple of other gigs around South Wales. We're doing one with Alcapath. I think we're playing in. I don't know because it's not been announced yet, so I don't think I don't want to say anything about that one either.
No,
but we're playing other gigs with other people, so just keep an eye out on our social medias. Go and follow us at Route Zero Official on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, I love when people get in a cheap plug. Makes my heart happy.
It has to be done.
Thank you so much for taking the time out and chatting with us today. It means the absolute world. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Tom.
Thank you, man. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, all right?
You too, guys.
Bloodstock is amazing, yes.
I am Dan from Sathamel, and this is...
I'm Paddy.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining us this fucking stunning day.
Oh, aye. I feel, because I've got like a ginger beard, I can literally feel my ginger cells killing me from the inside.
Mate, I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you the whole way, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's just, I found out that I'm allergic to the sun.
Yeah. Is it hay fever trying to kill you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was poisoned in earlier life. Anyway, never mind. That's not what we're here for. How's your Sunday? How's your personal Sundays treating you?
It's really well. It's going really well so far. Like, you know, we've just been knocking around here, talking to people, getting to know people, networking and all that. Looking forward to our set later on.
Yeah.
How about you, Paddy?
I just smashed a Spudman for my lunch, so it's going pretty well so
We've
far.
heard there good things about that.
It's alright, guys. It's pretty nice, yeah. Pulled pork and cheese. And then I reckon we'll hit a few more of these up, say hello to everyone, be social, then head back for a little pre-gig rehearsal or thing, acoustic like.
Yeah. That's
So a
good.
little warm up.
I was in the middle of the field somewhere. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that's exactly what we were doing this morning. Yeah.
Unbelievable. I bet you're buzzing for later.
Oh yeah, we are very excited. Yeah, it's just one of those things that is like literally dream come true kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you start a band in UK, like a death metal, black metal band, whatever. Like playing Bloodstock is like the golden ticket. It seems like it's an absolute pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. I mean, for a Sathamel show compared to a Sathamel Festival show, do you change your set up accordingly? So if people aren't so familiar with yourselves, you might just drop all the bangers in, or do you have like a set list you have regardless?
So that's pretty much what happened. So we normally play a bit longer sets, like 40-45 minutes on average. This is only going to be half an hour, so we have to really select what we're going to play for this festival. So we think we've chosen the best songs that we have, and that would probably work with the festival audience the best. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Incredible. So, us as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you aware of Sophie and the story?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So, what we're doing, we're talking to artists this weekend to basically find out about some of the stereotypes you may have had put up on you because you're part of this community. Not just when you were young, but even now today. Gentlemen walking around with long hair, tattoos. Do you ever have, like, people feel, oh, I bet he loves a fight, I bet he worships the devil? You know, those side eyes, those sort of... Is this something you've had to experience?
Yeah, I have to say, back in the day, definitely. Like, I mean, nowadays I don't really wear band t-shirts as often or anything, so you don't really have that very metal image, and obviously the imagery that goes on t-shirts and that. But yeah, back in the day, definitely, yeah. You know, I've heard like, oh, you look like Jesus thing as well.
Oh my God.
All the fucking time. So yeah, I mean,
I'd rather have Jesus. I got bloody Michael Jackson through high school. Yeah.
what?
Yeah, did you not know this? Yeah, I think probably every lad here that has long hair could probably say, oh yeah, in high school I got a bit of a ribbon for it. Like, coming out the other end of it, I think it does set you up to be a little bit stronger, a little bit, you know, better with the crack when you get older with your mates and stuff. But
I have to say these days, you know, when you get older, I think it is all changing a bit, you know, with the likes of these bands that are so commercially successful now, you know, you're kind of more of an odd one out if you don't have any tattoos these days. So, yeah, it's nice to see that it's getting a bit more accepted, sort of wide spectrum.
Yeah, I think like the general alternative look is a bit more popular nowadays. You have people, you know, that don't listen to anything alternative wearing black jeans and leather jackets and whatnot. You know, the sort of gothy look is, you know, like the black eyeliners and stuff. It's kind of in the fashion now. So I think there's a little bit less of that. And I think people in general, like, you know, if you get like 10, 15 years ago, it was very much still a case where if you listen to death metal, you only listen to death metal and that's it. Where nowadays I think people listen to more genres in general. So, you know, you listen to, I don't know, electric music as well, or hip hop, you know. With the emergence of bands like Sleep Token or Bad Omens and, you know, all them bands doing really, really well, that kind of tells you a lot about the trends, I think.
Absolutely. It's funny, you see people like you mentioned, like the alternative look being fashion. It's like, part of you's like, that's amazing. Like, we're part of the like main culture now. And another part of me like, I got the shit kicked out of me for this when I was younger. You absolute bastard.
Exactly.
Get out of Primark.
Exactly. As an elder goth, it is very much a thing, yes. Yeah.
You sort of answered my next question in the last one there, but I was going to ask, like, do you think, for the younger generation specifically, it is easier to be part of this now?
Do you know what? I think the younger generation has so many different varied things that they're exposed to via TikTok and YouTube and like all the social media. I think just being a part of like this one thing only is gonna be very sort of rare, I think. Well, like the young children now will grow up to be like, you know, teenagers or adults, whatever. I think they'll just be a bit more casual about things. I don't think it's gonna be much of a thing.
I think you're right. Like we spoke to a few bands that said like back in the day, metal was your personality.
Exactly.
Now people listen to so many different bands. Like my daughter loves Chapel Row, and I've never even fucking heard of it in my life till the other day. And Billie Eilish, and then she'll also sit there and listen to Kiss. And like once we take her to these gigs, I'm like, you never would have found that when I was younger.
Exactly.
On the school bus, Trigger the Bloodshed, Opeth, Behemoth, like, you know, you listen to something like a bit like, oh no, get that away from me, I don't like it, yeah. Whereas now it seems like, I don't know, I'd say it probably is for the better, like in general for the whole community. You know, the more people listening, the more it's accepted, the better opportunities we'll get, the more money in it for everybody.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Not for us. No. We only work for exposure, that's all we want.
Bringing it back to yourselves though, what is the future looking like for the band? Have you got anything coming out to talk about?
We do, yes. So we have an EP coming out in November called Opposition to Life. All the 3 tracks that we released in like last year or so, Take the Rod, Ad Nauseam, Perennial Flock, will be on that EP, and there'll be extra tracks on that as well. So we're looking forward to that. There's going to be a new music video coming out for one of the songs as well, which we just finished filming like last week. It's going to be brilliant, I think. Shout out to Stephen, who did it for us. No, Joey.
And
Sorry.
Thanks, whatever your name is.
We know a Stephen who does that stuff as well, but yeah, it's not that one. It's Joey.
and Sam at Ritual as well.
Yeah, Sam at Ritual Sound. We've worked with on that release again, who's also worked with us on all our previous records as well. So yeah, it's very much a Sathamel-esque future for us.
Incredible. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us today. It means the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, your time off, come check us out.
Will do. We are.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I am the vocalist and guitarist of Moon Reaper.
I'm James and I am the drummer.
I'm Sharon, I'm also one of the vocalists.
Jared, I am the other guitarist.
Wonderful, absolute pleasure to have you back once again. I know it's only been about a month or so, but it's an absolute pleasure. How are your personal Sundays treating you?
Well, this Sunday has been particularly great, actually.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah. I had an amazing set, so real buzzing and happy to be here. So it's a killer.
It's been, I mean, it is not to get a bit old. It's bloody hot today, isn't it?
It is.
Are we British if we don't talk about the weather?
I mean, it's bloody hot today.
Do you know what I mean?
Isn't it?
It's just like, we tend to go, what the fuck is that?
And yesterday, last night, it was freezing.
Oh, I woke up different.
Do you know what I mean?
You woke up a lot.
Someone is having us on, and I'm not very happy about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this morning me and Sharon woke up at 6 so we could begin prepping for our like vocal warm-ups and stuff. And, we got in my car. Car said 7 degrees outside. There was fog on the campsite. There was literal fog on the fucking campsite. It's 28, 29 degrees today.
Oh my days.
It's ridiculous, this country. We might have to move. We might have to go. I'm not sure I can hack it anymore.
Decided right now, right here, right now.
What the fuck is that about?
That is literally insanity, though. I don't think it knows what it's doing.
Bloody new government ruined the weather and
Keir Starmer sort it out.
Oh, unbelievable.
I know there's riots going on right now, but fucking hell, priorities.
What are you doing about the weather crisis?
I don't make it as cold.
Yeah.
It's a little bit colder. That'd be nice.
Just tepid. Tepid is fine.
I'll sell for 16 degrees only.
Imagine a tea that's been left out too long, but not long enough. Tell you what, we should run for office. I think we've got to.
Could you imagine that? It'd be unbelievable. What would the party be called?
A day to, it would be a day to remember for a start. That would be the national anthem.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would. It'd be the national anthem. And all rise, dun 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 dun, and let's go.
Oh, that's what we're making our own new country.
Chronicles of Pod.
Obviously, you played earlier today. How was it?
It was amazing. I mean, this festival is like such a community aspect. We mentioned it before. Like, we were like, honestly, we were worried it was gonna. You know, you worry, you get a bit of imposter syndrome, being like, what if it's empty? I mean, it's a great stage, but like, it's no good if there's nobody there. Do you know what I mean? Well, it'd be area, I suppose, but it was packed. People turned down. It just, again, it's how Bloodstock is such a good community, and we loved it. It was amazing.
We genuinely overheard people in the arena going, "Fucking, I'm Moon playing tomorrow. I'm so excited to see them."
Really?
A lot of people talk about you. Yeah. Genuinely.
I saw it on the Bloodstock Facebook group about a week ago as well. Like people being like,
James couldn't have said it better with the whole imposter syndrome thing. Like, I didn't know what to expect as to how many people would turn out, knowing it would be hot. It's Sunday. But it felt packed in there, and people were going hard every single song, and I'm so grateful. It was so grateful.
Like the Facebook post, wasn't it? We were seeing them, because you actually get good Wi-Fi where we are. So we saw the Facebook post, and it's obviously they're posting today, and our name's on it. And that's like surreal to be like Carcass, Flogging, Molly, Eamon Armour, Tyricon, and then we're down here, and it's like, but you're still on the cover photo, you're still on the profile bit, and I was like, oh fuck, that's me. What the fuck did I do?
It's well deserved. That's I have to say, very much well deserved. But compared to a Moon Reaper show, to a festival show, do you change the set list up accordingly? Say, obviously, if people aren't so familiar, maybe.
Do we change the set list?
Yes.
That's a question.
Like the winds change in the seasons, we change set lists.
Unfortunately, there is a very rugged and awful process of us writing out all the fucking songs on a whiteboard and carefully structuring them to suit a specific show. And this guy here, he's a stickler for it. He loves curating a nice set list.
What it actually is that Morgan likes to write a lot of songs and then gets bored of the songs he wrote 3 fucking weeks ago and goes, we should play all of these new songs at the biggest... Learn it! It's like the demo was finished 2 days ago. Yeah, and we should rehearse it in 3 days' time. No, but we do, to answer your question directly, we do we wanted to play the EP in full because obviously it's been out for a bit and we want to be pushing that. But it is about trying things out live and also feeling out what sort of person is going to be in this crowd. Obviously for Bloodstock, you've got everything from hardcore black metal fans to hardcore fans, so we really want to mix it and get as much as we can in, because then we're ticking as many boxes as possible. Obviously we're playing Plymouth in Layer of the Month. That's going to be more of a doomy black metal show because people are just there to cry. And I mean, because they're from Plymouth mainly, but we'll cut this bit out. But yeah, we do adapt it. Certainly, yeah, and we do have a rigorous process. We actually kind of enjoy it as much as you.
It's got some weirdly satisfying appeal when you've written out a set list going, yep, those black metal guys are going to hate this.
Yeah. It's actually a tally system, isn't it? There's a band tally system.
Yeah. We vote. We're a democratic band. Democrats on every single song that we're going to put in the set list, and there's always disagreements. Like, oh, I don't want to do that one on that.
Well, it's been voted for 3-1, so I guess you're going to have to.
Everyone has their favourites, but one of the things I like about being in this band so much is because we love so many different subgenres of metal, we've been able to blend that into quite a lot of songs, so we can then tailor it to make it the best experience for the listener possible, or at least try to. But yeah, it's a nice thing. Incredible. Although it does cause arguments but they're also kind of fun. So.
So, obviously, I know we touched on this briefly a couple of weeks ago when we had our chat via Zoom instead of in person, but we, as a podcast, were ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. So, we're talking to people at the festival this weekend more about stereotypes and assumptions. Because obviously, we were all treated like crap when we were younger because we listened to this sort of music and the way we dressed them or not. But what are some of the assumptions that you've had put upon you by complete strangers in the past, just because of the way you dress, the music you listen to, not just in childhood, even like today?
Well, Jared got compared to the vocalist for Coheed and Cambria earlier, which I think is just like he's just given up after that today.
Why?
I've never heard
It's 'cause
I don't know what this reference is, so you're going to have to explain it.
Is your hair like huge when it's not tied up?
Back, yeah, when he goes and does it. So someone comes up to him during a grindcore set, by the way, which is just the most Bloodstock thing, and he goes, "Oh, you look like the guy from Coheed and Cambria." Bearing in mind this person's in his 40s, and Jared very much isn't in his 40s. It's been a hard week, Jared.
Yeah, well, I can speak to that as well. I used to have dreadlocks down to my waist. There's a fair few assumptions that come along with that one as well. Definitely been asked for less drugs at this festival than other ones, so there you go.
Wow, yeah, that's definitely an assumption, yes.
I had a kind of customer party at work a couple of weeks ago, and they were very, very upper middle class people, and they didn't really know what to make of me. They were kind of like, one guy was like, "So what's with the tattoos?" And I was like, how do I answer that? What's with them? Well, they're here now. I can't really do much about it. To explain the tattoos or your entire identity to some like drunk middle class like white dude is so. I was like, mate, just take your drink and go. I was like, there's no point.
The best one is the ones that come in and are like, "Oh yeah, I listen to AC/DC ones. I would go. It's just not my scene. I just don't think I could do it. It's just a bit too. Yeah, I just don't think I could do 3 days without a washing machine."
The vocals are the things. The riffs are great, but the vocals, just a bit harsh for me.
I just want an aria now.
They always say, "Oh, I like the music, but I just can't hack the scream."
How do you even know what they're saying?
That's my favourite.
How do you even read those logos? I can't. Is it Metallica? I can't even read it.
Is it Forest? I don't know.
What?
Obviously, what happened to Sophie and when we were growing up, it's a very different world now in 2024. It's a vastly different world. Do you think it's easier to be part of this community now, especially for younger people, than it was when we were growing up?
I think when you're with the community, there's never a problem because the community is phenomenal. Like, I can't praise the metal community high enough because everyone's looking out for each other. Everyone knows what it's like to have been treated like shit at some point. As for new people getting into it, I think it depends on where you are. Like, I grew up in a very small town, so some of the views are a bit more old-fashioned there, so I did stand out like a sore thumb. But if you're in a city or something like that, sometimes it's a little bit more welcoming. Depends on where you are.
I think we mentioned this when we spoke to you last time. I think it's easier to be the community itself's always been welcoming. I think it changes as you get older. So like Morgan and Sharon are getting married, I'm having a baby, and you sort of have your own. Thank you. It was a really hard job, but someone's got to do it, and I'm glad to. I'm glad to take that burden on.
That's both these two as well.
Yeah, and I think it's more that it creeps in. It's like, well, is it responsible for me to wear a dying fetus at stillbirth with a young child? And how do I explain that? And almost you feel like it's the other side of it. Not that I'm not accepted. Actually, it's not mature enough. And actually,
you were adamant that you were going to wear that shirt to the birth.
No, but yeah, okay.
This was your idea. You said I'm going to wear my dying fetus shirt.
Wear an aborted t-shirt.
That was the other joke. I'd just like to quickly whip this back to like the cities and towns thing, and I would like to point out that Bristol itself is a very like accepting and culturally diverse city. So we are blessed to be in one of those towns, and Brighton is similar. I know London in parts is similar as well, and I'm really grateful that we are from Bristol as a band and that we are very supported in our scene itself. But I am aware like where Sharon's from, and not so much where I'm from, but there are other small towns where it's difficult, man. It's hard to be there, and you get these odd looks, and people say things and do things sometimes, and it's tough. It's very hard sometimes.
There was a house that I used to walk past on my way to school as like a young teenager every day, and this woman, just because I was alternative, would like hang over her balcony and like shout horrific things, like telling me what. bear in mind, she was probably in her 40s or so at the time, and I was a child, telling me to kill myself. It's horrific, but doesn't happen as much.
I can just imagine she was like, "Oh, do you know what I did today? Oh, I told this child off. Oh God, it was
Nigel,
wonderful."
you know what I did there? I yelled at a child, Nigel. What have you done
She was
today?
wearing black and had makeup on.
Unbelievable, not in my day.
In my day, they were pure.
It's the same with anything though. With the cost of living crisis, the more outward you go and the more remote you go, the more people struggle. So we're lucky to be in a quietly densely bottom. But I mean, look at the riots happening. Like Bristol turned out and we showed that what we stand for. Do you know what I mean? So we're lucky in that respect. But you go deeper into like Wales, further north, or into more remote or deprived areas, it is tough. You know, and that's where I guess culture has to take over, and we have to be the leading force in going. It doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what you're into. You're welcome in this community, you know what I mean? And you can dress and be and identify however you want to be. We're all here to listen to fucking good bands. That's what we're all here to do.
If you like riffs, you're in the crew.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen.
Bringing it back to you guys though, you did release your latest EP back in June. What is the future looking like now for the band? What's on the plan?
Come on, Jared.
Deep breath.
The future, Jared.
I've heard this question before.
This way, not this way.
All right, we're playing Plymouth later this month. You better be there if you're in the area. Also, got new music coming out next year. Better look out for it. Anything else? Am I missing something?
I don't know. I'm
Birmingham in October.
Birmingham. Everyone yell at the same time. It will be perfect and easy to hear.
Wait, what are we yelling?
Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham.
All right.
I don't know what my fight stance was, but I felt like I was in a 2000 game. Yeah,
Incredible. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us again. It means the absolute world. It really does.
It's so nice to actually be able to
I need to just before we finish, I have an official presentation as promised, sirs. For your hard
discussed on the
work.
podcast.
There is the official Shocky Knobs. There you are. I cannot guarantee they have not been melted and resealed.
That's fine, but still, thank you so much for a Chocky Knobs.
Basically mush at this point. He's had your packet of mush.
It's all the same when it comes out the other end, alright?
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank
really
you so
appreciate
much.
it. It's a pleasure.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
I'm Prika, the singer and the guitarist of Nervosa.
I'm Gabriela, the drummer of Nervosa.
And guys, you were fucking amazing earlier. I just want to throw that out there. We both stood there and went, holy shit! This absolutely tore that stage a fucking new one, I'll tell you that right now. But how are your Fridays? How's your day going?
Oh, we started very early today because we play very early, but this is nice because then we can join the rest of the day, you know?
Yes.
And we have the sun today, good weather, so we are really happy to be here finally because it's a festival that we dreamed to play, and finally we made it.
I think in the UK we go, what the fuck is that?
It's the Brazilian sun!
Yeah. So I've never seen that in my life, and I'm melting. What the fuck is wrong? So how was the set though? Enjoy it?
Yes, it was very fun. The crowd was amazing. A lot of mosh pits and the people flying. Love it. It's a trash metal vibes. It's what we want to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people came to fucking party today as well. Yeah, and you brought it. That's all I've got to say. So, for a Nervosa show, say, compared to a festival show, do you change your set list up accordingly so people might be familiar with yourselves?
Yes, like in festivals, our set normally is shorter. So we have to play the main singles and this kind of things, what works more for the crowd there. But of course, when we play in small places, we have the entire set list about more focus in the new album, the latest album, let's say. That's the difference. But I really love the both ways, you know, like in a small places, we can have more, like feel more the energy because we are closer.
Yes.
In festival, everything's a bit more far, but it's amazing because you can also have the contact with other bands, you know.
It's a party energy.
Yes.
Yes.
Different.
So, as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. Are you aware of Sophie's story and the foundation at all?
No.
No. So basically, in 2007, Sophie and her boyfriend were walking home from a night out, nothing out of the ordinary, and they're walking through a park and they were attacked by 5 kids, and Sophie lost her life. Boyfriend fortunately woke up from a coma, but his life was never the same. This all happened simply because they were goths. They didn't know these kids, nothing about them, and they attacked them because they didn't like the way they were dressed. That was simply the only reason. So Sophie's mum started this foundation to basically look after us lot in the alternative community, to make sure this doesn't happen again to anyone else, make this a hate crime. So obviously, being part of this community, listening to sort of music, we all got grief when we were younger, in school and whatnot. So we're trying to find out, has this sort of thing followed you into adulthood, where you maybe get funny looks when you're going into the bank or going to the doctors, whatever it may be, because you're walking around, you've got tattoos, you're wearing band t-shirts, whatever it may be. Is this something you experience at all?
Yes, and I think it's one of the things that I most love, you know, like to create this sensation and then it's like a provoke, you know. I love this, and when they look at me and they felt uncomfortable, and then I will look at them like,
She looks
yeah,
even
with
more.
the more, you know. I love this because the problem is on them, not on me, and they need to solve that, and I'm trying to help them. Like, face your problem, man. You know, like, I love it.
Or maybe really in that heavy place of that person, the person really wants to be like us and doesn't have the courage to stay with this.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes.
I completely agree. I do think sometimes it's, I want to be like my normal self, but I'm too shy, so I'm going to bully the people that are.
Yeah, like
absolutely. But obviously, when we were growing up, and what happened to Sophie, compared to now in 2024, it's a very different world. It's so many differences. Do you think it's easier to be part of this community now, or still a challenge?
Man, I think if it's something that you really love, you will always feel in home. Like, for example, we are from Brazil, but we feel in home here because metal is just one thing. It's a culture that it's worldwide is the same. Doesn't matter what happened in Brazil. We
Yes,
think
people
it's pretty
together.
similar because it's metal, you know. It's everything that we like, everything that we love, and I think it's what we learned when we were like kids or teenagers, you know, when you start to listen from this. And once you are in, probably you always will have a space in your heart for that. You can be far away, you can be a doctor changing your life, but you have the space in your heart and you always can remember that with some kind of nostalgic or whatever. But for us, I think we love more this kind of things, we feel more of these things, so that's why we are completely entire here. It's an entire heart, it's not just a space in the heart.
It's something you said about it.
Yeah.
It's some attitude.
Yeah.
And you bring this to your life, like just simple things that you, I don't know, it gives you courage, it gives you attitude, and I guess metal is about this too.
Absolutely. I think knowing that we all have that, we're like one big metal family, like you just said there. And I think that does give a lot of people the courage to say, I can do this, I can go out, I can look different, because there's a ton of us.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Absolutely. But bringing it back to you guys, you're about to embark on probably the biggest American tour I've ever seen and set a date list for in my life. Like, why does your booking agent hate you? Like,
No, we asked it for that. That's the point. We said like, come on.
That's not the problem.
Yeah, like USA is a big country. It's like Brazil, but the scene works better than Brazil because Brazil still have a lot of really poor parts and it has like misery, not only poor, you know. So it's very hard to do a tour in entire Brazil. But USA you can do wherever there. So we say like it's a long time that we are not going in USA. So we want to go for this new album. We want to promote as much as we can. So let's do this the best way that we can do it. So they booked many shows. But we have a 1 day off per week, so we are safe, you know.
At least you got one
yeah.
Right, rest of the vocals.
Yeah. That's just my fear because I never did a so long tour being vocalist, you know.
Me neither as a drummer.
Yeah, so we don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, I'm taking care about myself, so I know more or less how to do it. Let's see. After the tour, I can give you more information about
But I'm
it.
surely we have. I have sure that we will have a good time and we will have fun and headbang and get out stronger.
Yes.
This time.
Ready for a bigger one, maybe? Not
Who knows?
necessary.
Guys, absolutely smash it on tour. Thank you so much for taking the time out to chat to us today. It means the absolute world. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Hi, I am Nick Miller. I play bass for Unleash the Archers. I'm Scott Buchanan. I play drums in Unleash the Archers.
Wonderful stuff. How's your personal Saturdays treating you?
Yeah, it was a blast, man.
Incredible. Yeah. First time at Bloodstock, and it's been incredible.
The weather. Just
Yeah,
like
we were roasted in
reasonable
Italy and
temperatures again.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Well, we were from Vancouver, but we've been in Italy for the past 4 or 5 weeks.
No, I was going to say, so obviously in Canada, same as the UK, we tend to go, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Straight up.
We've been feeling like penguins being shipped around. Like we feel like we need to be refrigerated at all times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just blasting that AC. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even know what AC is here.
Yeah.
We just have to fucking suffer.
There was a
culture
fan
shock.
in the green room.
That was it. Like, oh, so I was putting where is the air conditioning? Why don't we just crack a window here?
We do.
But obviously you played on the main stage earlier today. How was that?
Sick. Yeah, we had a blast. The crowd was huge, like right from the beginning. There was no like filter in. People were there. People were singing along. They like knew the tracks.
Yeah,
it
a lot
was
of energy.
awesome. Yeah.
And it must be no better feeling as well when they got the crowd singing back at you.
How can it? Yeah. It's a party, you know. I'm
Yeah.
smiling, they're smiling, and we're feeding off each other. It's great.
The best thing about Bloodstock as well is that the crowd, no matter what time of day it is, no matter how drunk they are, no matter how hungover they are, people will still be fucking there.
They're not slowing down. I can see it here. I can tell it's gonna go
So
all
many
night.
like brutally sunburned people right now walking around. Like so many like pink. Look at that guy's head. That guy's good.
Welcome to the UK.
All in the name of metal, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely. I mean, for an Unleash the Archers show compared to a festival show, do you change your sets up accordingly? People might not be so familiar with yourselves, so just drop all the fucking bangers in?
Yeah, we gave a lot of thought to this. We didn't want to. New album out, blah blah blah. This is like the promo for it, but we didn't want to push too heavy on that because like we knew there's gonna like be a lot of first time listeners, like, and a lot of like people that have been listening a long time but haven't got to like see us yet and stuff like that. So we were like trying to keep the new album kind of like not to a minimum, but like keep it reasonable in regard to everything else and hit some of the like pass notes as far back as we could go. So yeah. It's tough though when you got 45 minutes, so you're trying to like jam all this stuff in. And it's like, you hash it out as a band, and then you look at the set and you're like, that's 85 minutes. And you're like, we have to cut like half of that, and then it's like, and then it starts becoming this weird conversation of like, no, you need like one track at least from that record, and like you're trying to do it, and it's very complicated, but yeah. A lot of thought.
Right, a lot of the songs come down to flip a coin. Should we have it? No.
Yeah.
You want an esoteric vibe? Like, this one's too scroggly.
So, us as a podcast, we're ambassadors for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
Oh, well,
Are you? I was about to say,
That's the other stage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you aware of the story of Sophie?
I don't think. Yeah, no, that's hard.
So basically, 2007, Sophie went out on a night out with her boyfriend. Nothing out of the usual. Coming back, on their way back home, they're walking through a park, and 5 youths just attacked them for no reason. They didn't know them or anything at all. Unfortunately, Sophie lost her life from this.
Oh, terrible.
Her boyfriend was in a coma. He fortunately woke up and carried on living his life. But after this happened, Sophie's mom basically started this charity to protect us in the alternative community, because that's why it happened. Sophie didn't know these people. They literally attacked her because she was a goth. That's it. It's literally no other rhyme or reason. And obviously, a lot of us in this alternative community, especially when we're younger, been targeted. We've been treated differently. We've had shit abuse thrown at us in the streets and whatnot. Sure. But we're talking to artists this weekend to find out more around the stereotype side of it. Is this something you've had to endure in your life, everybody, when you're younger now, where you've had some stereotype put upon you because you listen to this music? I don't know, it's like, oh, I bet he loves a fight. I bet he worships the devil. Like, is that sort of stuff you've had put upon you in the past?
I know that a lot of people are surprised to learn that you listen to other kinds of music other than heavy metal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're just people. It's not our whole entire lives, you know? So, yeah, I know all the music from the pop music from the 2000s. That's when I was growing up. I was listening to the radio like everybody else. You know, it's not just 100% metal.
Plus, even if you listen to metal, we can all agree the Backstreet Boys had some fucking bangers.
Bangers.
They're so bangers. I don't care how extreme you like your metal. We all love a bit of Backstreet Boys.
Right now, you can hear that in there. Love dancing.
What about yourself? Is this something you've had to do with?
There was actually I think one time when the band, we were sleeping in a Walmart parking lot on tour, and we got like heckled by like a truck that was circling around. I think we were in like New Brunswick or something like that. It was Canada for sure. And I mean, like, yeah, it happens. It's part of it, I guess. Yeah.
But obviously when we were growing up and when this happened to Sophie back in 2007, 2024 is a whole different world.
Yeah.
It's a completely different climate in the world. Do you think it's easier to be different and part of this community now than it was when we were growing up?
I think absolutely. Like this, it's hugely inclusive now, right? And like that's like it's baked right in, and it's awesome because of that. Like huge diversity we're seeing like in festivals like this, and it's great to see. And I hope it's easier. Like and yeah,
I agree. I mean, I it's hard to say the perspective because I haven't talked to a lot of the youths about their experiences in 2024. But for sure, it seems like the heavy metal community has only grown. And, the shows are getting bigger. The metal bands are able to play more countries, bigger festivals, all this. So it has to be growing, right? And it's all based around inclusion and community and being excluded. So you'd hope that the philosophies of the alternative community are including everybody, not bullying, yada, yada, yada.
Absolutely, yeah. It does seem to be that more family mentality than it used to be now.
Yeah.
Everyone looks after each other, pick each other up, everything like that. But you mentioned then festivals. You guys are just coming off an incredible European festival run. How's it been?
It's been sick. Like this is absolutely like our first time hitting this, and like, yeah, I think we had a bit of catching up to do. Like we had our first festival run booked for like COVID, and everything got canceled, and so it's like. I feel like we were talking about this. We're like a couple years behind. Like we know how to play a club show, but we came to this and it was a little bit of a like whoa, we're not doing a few things right. But like I think we're getting there, and this has been a great experience. And like now that we've done it, obviously we're coming back.
Stop giving away all our secrets.
What? What? Never. Tell us all your secrets.
Don't tell her anything. Don't tell her anything.
The festivals are like summer camps. So it's like, how could you not enjoy doing this all summer? I mean, it's the best kind of party you could ask for.
And Italy and Spain.
And that's it. Yeah. Beautiful
Absolutely.
parts of the world.
Absolutely incredible. Before we let you get out of here, you released your last album in May. What's the future looking like now for you?
Lots of touring.
Yeah, we got a few more booked. Some that are announced, some that aren't announced. So we'll be getting out there and getting around.
Incredible. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with us today. It means the world. Thank you so much.
Lovely meeting you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
I am Barbara from the Download Festival. I mean, or I'm Vicky from Bloodstock. You can choose.
Yeah, we can just we'll let you all decide. Let us know. First things first. How's your weekend been?
Oh, well, it's been amazing. I will say the weather's played an amazing part in this because it makes such a difference when we get this. We're not at 2022 weather. However, when you've got bands that worship the devil, it does tend to bring the heat, which is kind of my thought process here. So it might not be the case, but it's been amazing. Everything, touch wood, I know we're on the final day and I daren't say it, it's going really well.
Good. I'm really pleased.
Happy.
Yes, because obviously Thursday was a bit touch and go when it was raining a little bit.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah. Apparently, but the thing is, I went to all 15 saved weather apps that I've got on my phone until I found the ones that I like. You do that thing where you don't believe it. All the bad ones, you're like, no, that's wrong. So I'd gone to the good ones, and I knew that it was going to be fine on Friday, so it's fine.
It's been unbelievable, and long may it fucking continue. So
yeah, absolutely.
So I feel for everyone having to pack down tomorrow in that 30-degree heat, but
it's even, I've heard tomorrow's even worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Still, obviously this weekend's been very special in the sense that obviously it's been. Hello.
Hi.
Wow! Why?
Well, these guys wanted to interview me later, so I thought I haven't got time. I thought I'd barge in.
I said I was Barbara from Download Festival, and you are.
I'm Andy Copping. Hi.
Hi, Andy.
Oh shit, Andy. Well, fuck me. I mean, we were not prepared for this.
Amazing.
From where?
Barbara from, I don't know. Barbara from Download. I was.
Barbara from Download. Yeah, I'm Andy. Yeah. Barbara and Andy.
Andy Copping's mum. Yeah, you're Andy Copping's mum for this.
No, you're Andy Copping.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Okay.
Oh, hey guys, sorry, I'm just barging in because I'm going to be really busy.
Oh, it's fine. This is the best surprise we could have had, to be honest with you, Simon.
I didn't know who it was. When your face looked so shocked, I didn't see him straight away. I was like, who is it? I didn't turn around.
Dave Mustaine's not back again, is
I'm not saying a damn word.
We were just.
You've literally just come here to ruin this, haven't you?
No, not at all. What do you want to know?
We were just
What do you want to know about
literally.
all bands I booked?
Basically, Simon
It's
and I
dead
have a
easy to work
trade-off.
out which ones I booked because they're the ones everybody likes.
Oh, wow! That is fighting
Shots
talk.
fired.
Fighting talk.
That is the kind of bitchy bullshit we have all the
I
time.
have to
isn't
say,
it?
we have some. I mean, if people could see what our banter is like,
Yeah, it's good.
we have a lot of good booking banter.
Yes.
And when it comes to the festival, we sort of a little friendly competition. Whose band's got the biggest
You know why
crowds?
this works, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, the reason it works is we both have different taste, which is fine.
Yes.
But the fact is, we're both honest enough to go, you know what, if we've got a metalcore band over there, let's put a power metal band over there, let's put a thrash band there. And that's how you create that sort of diversity across all the bands.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
And it works.
So I was going to mention Lemmy, but now you brought it up, we'll talk about the announcement first, shall we? It was sexy as fuck.
I've got to be honest, we've been excited for so long about this.
Yeah.
Buzzing for so long. And also, it's the first time I think ever we've got all 6 headliners.
Never done that before.
No.
And they fell in pretty quick.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
did.
we've been in situations before where June before the festival we've
We've
not
got
got a
nothing.
headliner.
Yeah, we've got nothing.
Yeah, so to
Not
have
that
them
long
in
ago
sort of,
either.
Say again?
Not that long ago either.
No, exactly. So to have them locked in, before August was great. It's really good.
Yeah, before August of this year.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly.
And when we're busy
And also
bees.
to have like curveballs like bands like Fire Swans, etc., which haven't been over here before. They've never played here before. They can fill out God knows where in mainland Europe, but over here they've never played. They're going to be amazing.
That's what we do, though. We bring those never played before.
Yeah, they're going to be amazing.
So the Static X was a big one for me.
Amazing.
And Trivium, I was also a bit like, holy shit, was not expecting
I mean,
them.
it's been years since all of the headlines. What, 10 years since we've had Trivium?
Yeah.
7 years, Gojira?
Yeah.
Machine Head, 2012, because you can't class the Secret Show.
I was going to
So
say, because I
you
was still
can't
here.
class the Secret Show. So 2012 was because it was the secret.
So, obviously, you guys know us. We are ambassadors for Sophie Lancaster Foundation. We speak to people this weekend. Today was 17 years since Sophie's attack.
Oh, wow.
So, this year we're talking to people, we're trying to learn more about stereotypes. Obviously, you guys grew up in part of this alternative family we have. We all know we had it hard growing up, having things held, abused at us and whatnot. But we're talking about the stereotypes. So, is this something you've had to experience in your life? Whether it be when you were younger or even now, walking around with tattoos and stuff like that, where people may give you a funny side eye, a comment about you worship the devil or whatever it may be. Is this something you've experienced?
Yeah. For me personally, as a kid, I was a little skinny greaser. Yes, I was skinny at one time in my life.
I have not said.
I was. I picked up on how very dare you? But no, I was the guy with the, I was the guy with the cut off. Because that's what they're called. They're not called battle jackets. All right, we'll get that out there. It's not a cut off. But I was a kid with long hair at school with a Black Sabbath, back patch and all that lot. But then further down the line, I was the big fat balding guy that looked like someone out of the EDL, and I'm not in the EDL. And I hate people from the EDL. So yes, stereotypes. I've had it all my life. It doesn't matter whether I've got hair or not.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything. See how complimentary it was. To be fair, we were all. I was the grunge kid with the undercut, the para boots, and the check shirts, listening to Nirvana and Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
I mean, and it wasn't a trendy thing. All the girls in my school were the pristine, gorgeous girls, and I just wasn't like that. And it was the goths. We were the grebos of the school. And that was used as a hateful term. It wasn't today being goth, metal, everything else is cool. It really wasn't back then.
No,
so
not at all.
It's like everything, it's always cycling, isn't it? It always goes in cycles, But the fact is, for all these fashion terms and all this heavy metal and rockers and whatever you want to call them, have been there all the way through it. I remember when there was the mods and rockers, and it went into the, that's how old I am. Christ, I'm showing myself up. Yeah. Brighton Beach.
I remember when I was there were 15 of us
in shoebox. In shoebox, you were lucky, you were. What a good fit shoebox. Oh yeah, I'm sounding rather dated, but no, you're right. There's stereotypes out there and sort of preconceptions of people on their visual image. It's bullshit.
Absolutely.
It's absolute bullshit. It always has been. Me and Rachel were saying, Rachel, that's my wife, we were standing by the pit, I think it was during Whitechapel, and the amount of diversity coming over that wall was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
It was hilarious because you got Brian from accounting coming over the wall 3 or 4 times. Like, honestly, he just,
I think I saw Paul from Grantham.
Yeah, exactly. Paul from Grantham was there. Yeah, exactly. But you know, and that's the beauty of this. It sort of pulls everyone together, and everyone's just singing and dancing, just having a great time, forgetting of the ills of the world. You know,
That's what the weekend's about, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. You kind of touched on my next question already, but obviously when that happened to Sophie and we were growing up, fast forward to 2024, it's such a different world we live in now.
Yeah.
So do you think it is easier for the younger people to grow up and be part of this community now?
I think, and I'll just chip in with, I think something else has happened since then. I think social media has become a problem.
Yes.
So I think the pressure on kids is still there, people growing up, but I think on a different side of things, I think social media has brought a whole another challenge. So yes, I still think that there's problems. Yes, we've got more acceptance because we've got than 15 years ago, the kids have got much more diversity than they ever have had. But I still think we've got a problem with things like social media, and that does need to be addressed. How we tackle it is another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think not only is there vitriol and spite out on the internet, but the fact that there's a world of misinformation as well. Yeah. And that's the thing, and that's what breeds that lack of knowledge and that lack of appreciation of subcultures. You know, and that's a massive, rabbit hole we could go down, isn't it? Really, but it's
I know you ain't got the time, either.
No, I don't think I've got the inclination either.
It's a whole minefield, that one. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today. I know you guys are extremely busy, so I really appreciate you taking the time out and
To be
chatting
fair,
with us.
Simon's more busy than me, I will say that.
No, that's why it's shoulder bars in here. I do apologise, mate.
We bounce off each other, don't we?
And apologies to all the bands that she's booked.
And apologies from Margaret from Download. If there is a Margaret from Download.
Hi, I'm Andy.
The Lemmy bus as well before you shut off, unbelievable. That was incredible.
So I was supposed to close that off and say something, and I couldn't. And there was there were several reasons. One, that's the first time I'd seen the bust, because I refused to have a look at it before it got out there, and it cut me in half. But the other thing, and Phil Campbell said something that will stick with me forever: don't think of Motorhead in the past tense, think of it in the present tense.
Yep.
And when he said that, I was just like, I'm done, I'm cooked, I'm going. It's beautiful. I love Lemmy. He was the god.
He was everything. And I always say, a lot of bands today could really learn a lot from Lemmy.
Yes.
And should. They really, really should.
You know what? Not only did he deliver every time I saw him, but the fact is it was done with that cynical smile on his face and that wit and wisdom and it was just a fucking goat, man. He was a legend.
Always will be.
Yeah.
And I hope the bike ride is incredible tomorrow.
Yeah, at the moment we've got like 40 now plus, maybe 45, 50 Harleys, with a procession with the Bloodstock truck taking the bus to Rock City. So that in itself is going to be incredible.
And she's following up on a 3-wheel little tandem thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Might take me a little bit longer, but I have got ribbons. I have got ribbons on the back, and a little bell.
There be a little squeaky noise. Like,
excuse me, I'm coming through.
You're leading the way, aren't you, mate?
Oh, you're leading the way, yeah.
Leading the way, yeah.
So we'll see you 12 weeks on Tuesday.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
No
I appreciate
problem.
it.
As well done to you guys, because obviously I've watched this a bunch of times, and I spoke to you when we were at the Metal to Masses. You guys are doing it proper. You're doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Yeah, you are.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Who do I pay?
Jamie.
Oh, can I square something up? Right.
Oh, here we go.
Is that an old man's phone case?
Right, come on, be honest.
I've heard this before, and I used to have one like that, so I'm on your side for this one.
But you're also 65, yeah?
I didn't.
Just looking because of the sun. I'm not.
I don't use phone cases, so.
Why is that?
I just don't.
Because they are for old men.
I just don't use them. I just don't.
Right, can I just point out now that I'm leaving Bloodstock and I'm going to go and work for Altfest.
Oh wow!
Cheers, Si. Thank you, mate. Thank you so
Amazing,
much.
no problem,
Appreciate
mate,
it.
honestly. You do an amazing job.